Welcome to this episode of Investing Fool, where we talk about no nonsense investing, focusing on momentum investing as, as our core investment strategy. So, today's video is about a weekly review. So, if you remember, we rebalanced the portfolio as per December 15 prices, and we did the adjustments on December 18. After December 18, you see there have been only 4 days. So 19, 20, 21, 22. And अभी 23, 24 weekend चल रहा है, and then 25th is Christmas and the markets will remain closed. So I thought we'll anyway have to do the weekly review. So why not do this as per the Friday prices, because the next closing price will get is on Tuesday, which is 26th, and तब तक फिर एक week से तो ज़्यादा हो ही गया होगा, right? That will be accounted in our second weekly review. So the way this is structured, or I am thinking of structuring this, is that हम महीने में एक बार rebalancing करेंगे, and we will go through 3 weekly reviews before the 4th weekly review will convert into the next month's rebalancing. Okay, so this is how the videos will be structured. So before we move on to the specifics of the review, so we should know what is the purpose of the weekly review, right? So first of all, I want to drill that fact a little bit more, stressed on it, that review is not rebalancing. Okay, don't take the opportunity of reviewing your portfolio as one to rebalance it. रीबैलेंस में क्या होता है, यू आर डेफिनेटली कमिंग विद द इंटेंट कि मतलब चेंजेस करने हैं. रीबैलेंसिंग इज एक्चुअली changing or tweaking your portfolio little by little, not changing the strategy but changing the components of the portfolio, right? Review, as the name suggests, is just a review. हमको बस देखना है क्या परफॉर्म कर रहा है, नहीं कर रहा है. एक्शंस बहुत कम लेने हैं रिव्यू में. रिव्यू में ज़्यादातर कोई एक्शन नहीं होगा. इट्स जस्ट अ पैसिव रिव्यू, बस बैठ के मूवी देखना है, राइट? एंड रीबैलेंसिंग में एक्चुअल काम करना होता है. ओके, so review by that sense is a bit lighter compared to rebalancing, but it's not that it's not important. But what is important is to not incentivize yourself to action. Review देख देख के action करने के तेजी में नहीं आना है, right? We just have to let the portfolio be. We just have to be silent spectators in the case of reviews. Okay. So first and foremost, of course, the objective is to see and to understand how the stocks have performed. 20 stocks का basket है हमारा, और इनमें से obviously कुछ चले होंगे, कुछ नहीं चले होंगे इस week में, as we'll see in the next screen. So that is there. The second is any stock that has given like a significant fall, and you can have your margin like 20% or something within a single week. अगर एक स्टॉक 20% इससे गिर गया है within 1 week and it has not grown any positive candles. Okay, मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि प्राइस मतलब एक दिन में, let's say a stock has has fallen by 20%, 25%, let's say, and then recovered a little bit, like 6-7%, for a net change of 20%, but it has found its base, right? In that case, you may take like a different call. But in general, my understanding, and there have like ऐसे ज़्यादा cases आते नहीं हैं वैसे, it's very rare for a stock unless the whole market corrects to fall by 20% in a single week, or unless the stock के fundamentals में ही कुछ change हो गया, right? The company situation, the company context itself has changed. Some very like major thing has happened, right? Let's say Adani stocks. So Adani stocks, the way they fell, 20% तो कुछ नहीं था एक week में, right? They would fall by much more. Immense volatility was there. So in that case, I would have bailed out of Adani. It's not कि मैं रुके रहता वहाँ पे कि like I would wait for the final rebalancing of like after 1 month. I won't do that. I would get out of those stocks in a weekly review. So those are the extreme cases in which we can act on in our weekly reviews. So any stock that has fallen by 20% within that week, I would consider it as qualifying for a mid like cycle exit, right? Because हमारा एक cycle एक महीने का है, right? So ideally we should not be changing anything within that 1 month, but these are rare circumstances जिसमें अगर एक week के अंदर 20% से गिर रहा है, there is no like light at the end of the tunnel, right? So you don't know how much it will fall, so you can exit. And whenever you exit, if there is any selling, you can just keep it parked in cash for now. ठीक है, अभी जैसे एक वीक के बाद कोई स्टॉक निकल रहा है मेरे पोर्टफोलियो से, so I'll just keep it in cash. I've sold the stock, I'll keep it in cash. I will not reinvest it in any of the other 19 existing stocks. ठीक है, वो कैश पड़ा रहेगा. Next rebalancing cycle में I would allot it to some new stock as per the ranking. ठीक है, in 19 में से नहीं देना है. We would determine that at the rebalancing time कि which is the most eligible stock to get funded. Okay, so the other thing is to rerun a screener, okay, and to identify and track possible new entrants. So this I will have to like include this. I have not included this for now in this PPT, but what I mean by this is that weekly review के time पे I rerun my screener again, right, to get a sense ki like which like new possible entrants are coming, right? It's not कि I'm going and buying those stocks. वो just मेरे radar में आ रहे हैं, like I'm just having a look at them, right? To just as a point of curiosity, you might say, कि मेरे को देखना है कि अब अगर मैं like अगर मैंने 15th को चलाया है and then I'm running it something on 22nd, कितना difference है, right? Which new stocks have come up, because some of these stocks that have come up in the weekly review 1 might sustain till weekly review 2, 3 and then ultimate rebalancing का जो screening होगा उसमें भी they might come, right? So it's not any additional, it's not that you would get any additional benefit by knowing these stocks. It's just for my curiosity कि like I like to know, right, कि क्या आने वाला है, क्या आ सकता है, not आने वाला है. आने वाला डिटरमिन होगा जनवरी 15 को ही. ओके, so these are the like a few points why like I would do a weekly review. This is the first weekly review video for this channel, and as always, as you can see at the bottom of almost every slide, that this is edutainment, which is education and entertainment. It's not financial advice. Whatever you have to invest in the stock market, you consult your financial planner, your financial advisor, and get those recommendations accordingly. So this is no recommendation, this is just for education. Okay, so okay, now the like crux of the product. Okay, this is the like meat of the video. If we are doing a weekly review, we are basically seeing कि जो 20 stocks थे, let me move this insert a bit. Yeah, okay. Cool. So the last 5 stocks were getting hidden, so I moved this insert, and we will look at these stock names. Okay, one by one we'll see. And in the previous video also, as I had said, कि we are agnostic to the market cap or the industry or the narrative or story of the stock. Large, mid, small, कुछ भी हो, we are fine with it. रेलवे हो, कंज्यूमर हो, आईटी हो, फाइनेंस हो, फार्मा हो, वी आर गुड विद इट. ओके, एंड आउटलुक अच्छा हो ना हो, वट एवर इज देयर, वी आर ऑल फाइन विद इट एज लॉन्ग एज द प्राइस परफॉर्मेंस इज देयर. वी डोंट गिव अ डैम अबाउट एनी ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. इट्स प्लेन एंड सिंपल. ओके, so now let's look at these stocks, and if you can see the first column, I mean the second column in the table, which is the buy price, is the original buy price at which these stocks entered this momentum portfolio. Okay, so जो पहले 15 स्टॉक्स हैं वो तो पहले साइकिल में ही घुस गए थे. दे जस्ट कंटिन्यूड ऑन फ्रॉम दी दे हैव जस्ट कंटिन्यूड ऑन फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट साइकिल टू द सेकंड साइकिल. दे डिडंट गेट एडेड ऑन लाइक ड्यूरिंग December 15 रीबैलेंसिंग. ओके, तो ये पहले से थे, तो इनके बाय प्राइस ऑफ कोर्स कम है, रिलेटिवली कम है. And then the bottom 5 stocks, they entered during December 15, so इनके में fluctuation from that to now it has only been like 7-8 days, so fluctuation बहुत कम है. Okay, now if you see the next column is current market price, of course. Then there are two changes. So I have tabulated the 1 week change, which is December 15th के closing price से अभी जो लास्ट क्लोजिंग प्राइस है, विच इज 22nd क्लोजिंग प्राइस, उसमें वो एक हफ्ते में कितना चेंज आया है. द नेक्स्ट कॉलम इज द नेट चेंज. नेट चेंज इज द चेंज फ्रॉम द टाइम दी स्टॉक्स एंटर्ड द पोर्टफोलियो इटसेल्फ. ओके, तो इफ यू सी द फर्स्ट 5 stocks, there is much larger difference like in the net change column, and for the last 5 stocks it's very less, comparatively very less, and in the 1 week it can be like in the similar range. Like 1 week to everyone, like every stock I have just noted down their 1 week performance. So yeah, so going with the one major event that happened is the December 20 fall, right? It was a small volatility event. In hindsight we can say it was a small volatility event. Like उस दिन तो सबकी फटी हुई थी कि क्या हो रहा है. But if we put that in the context of like the overall long scheme of things, it looks like a minor blip. But even that minor blip, when you see it in terms of a weekly change perspective, it dents your returns, it dents your gains, increases your losses by a lot. Okay, so if you see जो 1 week change वाला column है, इसमें you can see there are only 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 out of 20 have actually given a positive deviation in the last 1 week. 13 negatives में है. And if you see the magnitude of negative, it can be anything, right? You can see like the worst performer, which is SJVN, as you can see. I think it's Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam something. It's in hydroelectric power generation. So that stock, SJVN, has fallen by almost 7.4% in 1 week, right? 7.4% is huge. But the problem is that, and this is a large cap stock, the problem is that it had grown by much higher from the inception. Like when it entered the portfolio, हमने इसको खरीदा है 76.2 में. Current price is 89.7. Okay, in the last 1 week it has reduced by 7.4%, but in the overall scheme of things इसका gain अभी भी 15% है. Okay, so if you take from like November 21 when we started, so November 21 till now, it's still sitting at a gain of 15%, right? इसमें like every stock we put 1 lakh, right? So it's still at a 17.5k के ऊपर का profit है इसका अभी भी, right? So and that is the first point that I want to convey कि week में variations होते रहते हैं. In a week you cannot say कि weekly review के time पे कि देखो सतलुज like 7.4 गिर गया है, let me remove it. Okay, because you don't know the full picture. We are as we said in the I think second video also, we are trying to capture the large chunks of movement in momentum. We are not trying we cannot get swayed by weekly movement here and there. Okay, it is possible कि 7.4% से ये कल को next week में और 10% गिर जाता है, right? Then I might need to reevaluate like my thinking in the next weekly review. But for now, this level of fall I am comfortable with. Okay, it might and it might turn out the other way also कि ये 7% का loss है इस week, next week maybe 5% का profit आ जाए. So if it goes to 5%, then it doesn't matter, right? It just continues to be in the portfolio. And one different stock is the one that is highlighted in the fifth row, which is Safari Industries. This company is a mid-cap company, consumer focused. It sells like suitcase and travel bags and all. Everyone, I guess, would know Safari here. So if we see the 1 week change, 3.7% is the net loss in sorry, no, it's the 1 week loss, and the net change is 7.4%. इसका मतलब ये है कि सफारी जब से पोर्टफोलियो में आया है, राइट, इट हैज नॉट गिवन अ गुड परफॉर्मेंस, वो गिरे ही जा रहा है. इस वीक में भी 3.7% गिरा है, बट इट हैज स्टिल नॉट रीच्ड अ थ्रेशोल्ड, जबकि हम बोलें कि भाई ये बहुत ज़्यादा गिर गया है और इसको निकाल ही देते हैं, राइट. इट इज़ नॉट फॉलन टू लाइक 20% और समथिंग, एंड दैट 20% ऑल्सो वॉज जस्ट फॉर अ वीक. ये तो स्टार्टिंग से ही इट हैज़ फॉलन बाय 7%. ओके, so although it is falling, it is rising, it is falling, rising, right, the momentum, the strong momentum is not there. वो ऊपर जा रहा है, नीचे आ रहा है, ऊपर जा रहा है, नीचे आ रहा है, and it just kind of is range bound. There is not very strong momentum, so not a strong incentive for us to sell the stock also. But yeah, it looks likely कि जब next rebalancing होगा January 15 में, so Safari probably would not come in the top 50 ranks given by our momentum indicator, and might be phased out. This is not my call, this is the system's call, right? मैं तो बस follow कर रहा हूँ. This is my hunch, but again, we don't act on hunches, right? This is just an opinion. We will go with what the system tells us. अगर system तब बोलता है कि नहीं अभी भी 50 ranks में है, so even with like making 10% loss, 12% loss, वो तब भी रहेगा portfolio में. It's as simple as that. Okay, because it's still in the top 50 ranks, right? The criterion that we have defined for us, that will remain constant. Okay. Then we see other companies, again REC, PFC, these have been like really nice performers this year. You can see कि इस वीक में both have corrected by almost 6.5%. तो ये सेम कहानी है SJVN की तरह, जो जितना बढ़ता है उतना ज़्यादा गिरता भी है. Stocks have volatility like both ways. Okay. So week में दोनों 6.5% के आसपास ऑलमोस्ट गिरे हैं, REC एंड PFC. बट इफ यू सी द नेट चेंज, अभी भी जब से वो पोर्टफोलियो में आए हैं, दे आर स्टिल एट 16% एंड 18% प्रॉफिट, राइट. सो स्टिल हेल्दी प्रॉफिट्स. देन anything below like 2.5% or close to 2.5% is like these are minor changes. इस लेवल के स्टॉक्स में तो डेली लेवल पे ये होता रहता है, 2.5% इधर उधर, 1.5% इधर उधर. तो वीकली लेवल पे whatever has changed by like 1.5%, 2.5% or even 3%, it doesn't matter that much. Okay, the bottom 5 stocks, as you can see, there like the net change itself is the weekly change, because वो एक हफ्ते पहले ही आए हैं पोर्टफोलियो में, and it varies between like almost no change at all, right, or like less than negative 3% to around positive 3%. तो plus minus 3% के range में these have been going, and yeah, so that's basically it. This is how the stocks have performed. अब इसके basis से मतलब इसको चला के मेरे को क्या आइडिया मिला, राइट, नया क्या आइडिया मिला? नया कुछ आइडिया नहीं मिला. एज आई सेड कि पहले तो ये देखना है कि हाउ हैव द स्टॉक्स परफॉर्म्ड, एंड टू गेट इंडिकेशंस कि क्या शायद जाने वाला है या क्या शायद आने वाला है, राइट. क्या शायद आने वाला है, दैट आई विल शो यू इन अ मिनट. क्या शायद जाने वाला है, एज आई सेड कि सफारी आई कैन सी consistently the momentum is just not coming. The stock also recently had a bonus split, stock split, and the momentum is just not visible. So it's possible कि January 15 आते आते अगर इसी तरह का परफॉर्मेंस रहा इसका, तो ये फिर डिस्क्वालीफाई होके ये पोर्टफोलियो से बाहर होने वाला है. And the loss can be anything. The loss can still be like 15,000, 20,000. It doesn't matter, right? If you have lost 20% already on a stock, you are also gaining 20% or more on some stocks, right? Definitely more. In a bull market, like this is the strategy that I am showing on this channel, but I used to do momentum before this also. So many stocks like BSC, PFC, REC, all these have come much earlier also, right? And they have given phenomenal returns. 50% returns like in 2 months, just in 1-2 months they would like run up like crazy, right? So you make up those as well. So there is no shying away from losses as there is no shying away for profits. The other way to look at this is that never think कि something has run too much. कोई एक हफ्ते में let's say okay, let's see what's the most positive. I think the most positive is Aurobindo Pharma, 3.75% in 1 week. Overall, the net change is still 5.5%. It's not significant, but let's say if anything runs up by like 15% in a week, right? And the net change becomes something like 30%. Don't get incentivized at that point to say कि बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है इसको बेच देते हैं. Don't get into all those foolish tactics because जो बढ़ता है मोमेंटम वही बोलता है कि जो बढ़ता है इट इज हाईली लाइकली कि वो बढ़ता रहेगा फॉर सम टाइम बिफोर अल्टीमेटली इट फॉल्स. ऑफ कोर्स इट विल फॉल एंड ऑफ कोर्स यू विल नेवर सेल इट एट द हाईएस्ट पॉइंट. दैट इज फाइन. वो थोड़ा गिरने के बाद ही तुम्हारे रैंकिंग से निकलेगा एंड देन यू विल सेल इट. बट टिल दैट टाइम डोंट गेट स्वेड बाय कि ये बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया है एंड ऑल. डोंट हैव दोज सेकंड ऑर्डर थॉट्स व्हाइल रीबैलेंसिंग or reviewing. Okay. Okay, now I was also saying कि potential entrants क्या हो सकते हैं, right? So if we look at this screen, which is like the screener, I have again run it, and one minor change here is that away from the all-time high, I had like I think in the previous video I had shown it as within 10%. So 10% is a very small fluctuation. So this is like I'm keeping it within 20%. This is just FYI. You can decide your parameters as per like what you want to set, right? So let me just move it again here. Okay, if you see these stocks that have come up, this I have run today only, and as you can see here the latest price data was downloaded on 23 December. Okay, 23 December at 10:35 AM, but it is actually the closing prices of 22 December. Friday की closing prices हैं ये. And as you see, I have like sought, this is the strategy I had shown in I think the second video also, the strategy video, average sharp of 12.6 and 3 months. Now if we see these stocks, right, इसमें we can see some stocks, और ये मैं डाउनलोड करके भी उसमें हाईलाइट करके दिखा सकता हूँ. आई एम जस्ट शोइंग इट राइट ऑन द स्क्रीनर कि इसमें कुछ स्टॉक्स हैं जो अभी हमारे पोर्टफोलियो में नहीं है बट वो यहाँ पे दिख रहे हैं हमको, राइट? सो इफ वी like take from the beginning till 20, we go down till rank 20. So we see Keynes Technology India, ठीक है. We see कल्याण ज्वेलर्स पहले भी मेरे दूसरे पोर्टफोलियो में आया था. I had rode this stock also to some profits. Jindal Saw भी आया था, but Jindal Saw again has come in the screener. So Keynes, Kalyan, Jindal, all these are currently there in our portfolio. Hindustan Aeronautics, massive run up, right? In the last year and a half, massive run up for Hindustan Aeronautics. ये पहले भी बहुत सारे मोमेंटम पोर्टफोलियोज में आई एम श्योर आया होगा एंड अभी भी दिस हैज अगेन कम इन द स्क्रीनर. सो this also, while saying this, right, I also want to drill again another common anchoring bias, right? Another common phenomenon which is called anchoring bias. Ki we get anchored to one price. Like let's say you are doing this momentum strategy since January of 2023. Aurobindo Pharma, sorry, not Aurobindo Pharma, Hindustan Aeronautics, right? HAL you had gotten for let's say 1500, okay, and you rode it till 2000. At 2000, let's say the stock fell and your momentum strategies told you कि भाई निकल जा HAL से, okay, so you exit the stock at HAL, okay, and then the stock went sideways for like a couple of months and then again it went to like 2100. It started rising again a bit. The moment it started rising, what happened is that because you're looking back 1 year, you're not looking back कि last महीने क्या क्या या last 2-3 महीने क्या क्या, right? You are comprehensively looking at the last 1 year performance. In that 1 year basis, if it has delivered better compared to the other stocks in NSE 500, which is my universe for this strategy, then it will again come up. It might again come up. और उस time पे price, it's possible कि you sold it at 2000 और बट जब नेक्स्ट बार वो तुम्हारी स्क्रीनिंग में आया है इट इज शोइंग अ प्राइस ऑफ 2150 राइट और 2250. एट दैट टाइम डोंट गेट एंकर्ड टू दैट प्रीवियस प्राइस कि मैंने तो इसको 2000 में बेचा था, मैंने तो 1500 में खरीदा था, 2000 में बेचा था, अब 2200 में कैसे खरीदूंगा, राइट? ये सब तुम्हारे सोचने के लिए नहीं है. सिस्टम इज टेलिंग यू टू बाय इट, जस्ट बाय इट, राइट? If you exit it, you also exit when the system tells you to, you also enter when the system tells you to. उसमें फिर अपना आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं लगाना है कि मैंने इतना में खरीदा था, तुमने इतना में खरीदा था, then the world was a different place, then the market was a different place, the market has a different context and HAL had a different context, right? अब मार्केट बोल रहा है कि the company is being valued at 22, then you just say okay, the market is right, I'll just go along with it, right? And that is not to say कि in the second time you will make a profit or loss. That is an independent case altogether. Okay. As we had discussed earlier, the cycles of mean reversion and momentum are not usually the same length. Mean reversion usually like 2-3 साल के ड्यूरेशन में होता है और मोमेंटम लाइक 1 साल 1.5 साल के साइकिल्स में होता है. ओके, सो okay, so these are the 3 stocks. Then again we'll look at, okay, Cyient has come. Cyient again has given good performance this year. IT stock. बाकी if we look at 17, 18, 19, 20, ये सारे हमारे पोर्टफोलियो में ऑलरेडी हैं. So if we see after week 1, if we are rerunning the screener, we are seeing कि 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 about 5 companies हैं which are potential entrants to the portfolio on January 15. हम like we won't buy any of these shares now. It's just for our back of the mind thinking. Okay. Now we'll move back to our discussion and we'll go through a few charts because charts देखना सबको अच्छा लगता है. So I also like in my free time. It's not कि I act on them as much because then it will become discretionary. But it like it always feels good to look at them, right? Because performance से momentum आ रहा है and we get a sense of the momentum by looking at the chart as well. It's a visual representation of your momentum. ठीक है, तो अभी हम देखते हैं the stocks that I had shown you, right? And I think I forgot Bombay Stock Exchange. Let me just see. Oh, Bombay Stock Exchange is again at the front runner. रैंक 1 पे, ये यूजुअली रैंक 1 पे आता है बट रिसेंटली इट्स लूजिंग द स्टीम अ बिट कंपेयर टू प्रीवियसली. बट अगेन अगर ये ऐसा रहा और अगर ये रैंक 1 पे रहा जनवरी 15 को, मैं खरीद लूंगा. मैंने पहले भी BSE खरीदा है एट मच लोअर प्राइसेस, बट आई वोंट शाई अवे फ्रॉम बाइंग इट एट मच हायर प्राइसेस ऑल्सो, राइट? So if we see one thing I like wanted to like show is that the potential entrants ना, ये जो सारे स्टॉक्स हैं इनमें से एटलीस्ट 3 तो पहले भी आए हैं and they have shown good momentum previously also. It's not कि ये पहली बार मतलब of course like for the purpose of this channel ये पहली बार आए हैं इस पोर्टफोलियो में. But like I have seen these stocks much earlier also and they have given phenomenal run-ups. But now if you see at the last region of each of this stock, right, इनमें momentum थोड़ा सा हो गया है ठंडा. और ठंडा ये कब से हुआ है? अराउंड मिड नवंबर. इसमें मतलब इसमें भी ऑलमोस्ट मिड नवंबर, इसमें दिसंबर के बिगिनिंग से, राइट? सो इफ यू दी दी स्टॉक्स, BSE को 1 मिनट हम थोड़ा मतलब साइड में भी करें क्योंकि ये इसका जो मतलब लैकलस्टर परफॉर्मेंस है वो बहुत रीसेंट है, दिसंबर के स्टार्टिंग से ही है. बट इफ यू सी द अदर 3 स्टॉक्स, राइट, ये पीक यहाँ पे होने के बाद ये साइडवेज ही है एंड नेट it has given actually negative from the beginning of November. It's not at its all-time high. It's slowly reaching there. So these stocks, what has happened is that they gave very good momentum. फिर थोड़े से ठंडे पड़ जाते हैं and then again they like start their run up. Okay, and if they start their run up again, of course they will come in your screener again, right? So if you see like Kalyan Jewelers also, वो sideways या नीचे ही जा रहा था, अभी recently last 3-4 sessions से थोड़ा सा बढ़ना start किया है. If you see Keynes, it reached a very high, यहाँ पे ये growth देखो continuously एक के बाद एक green candle है, right? It's going up. Then it came down, it trended sideways for about a month, and then अभी फिर से it is starting to go up, but it's showing some resistance around here. जहाँ पे previous high था वहीं पे थोड़ा बहुत resistance है, right? And again it might go up, right? It might break this resistance and just go up. So it's chart देख के हम कुछ decide नहीं कर रहे हैं, but I'm just showing you the kind of trajectory of these stocks, potential entrants, and we will look at जो existing portfolio के जो performance है, right? जो existing players हैं उनका ग्राफ कैसा है compared to these. So these four, as you can see, बढ़ तो गए and then थोड़ा सा sideways या lower movement आया है चारों में, okay? और last में किसी में मतलब they have again shown some spike, some promise, because of which they have come in this weekly week one review screener, right? So if we look at the second screen, these are some existing players जो अभी भी हैं, they have been there and like they have continued to be there. इनमें से एक stock IRFC जो है वो I think December 15 में it entered the portfolio. The other three, REC हो गया, बिरला सॉफ्टवेयर हो गया and PFC, ये स्टार्टिंग से हैं पोर्टफोलियो में, राइट? एंड दे हैव कंटिन्यूड आफ्टर द December 15 रीबैलेंसिंग आल्सो. तो इनमें जो इफ यू सी द सेम रीजन, राइट, जैसे इसमें बिरला सॉफ्ट में देखो REC PFC, अगेन यू कैन सी ये जो लाइक ट्यूसडे 20th December का जो फॉल हुआ और उसके थोड़ा पहले, राइट, दे वर गोइंग इन अ बिट ऑफ लाइक consolidation because बहुत बढ़ गए. If you see these stocks, they have like इतना इन्होंने run up दिया, it took a little bit of pause and then again straight shot up, okay? तो इसके बाद थोड़ा सा break तो लेते हैं stocks, right? Everyone takes, but you see the major red candle here and here, these came on the Tuesday 20th December, ठीक है? So सारे recent falls हैं, less than like a week के falls हैं. But if you see, if you compare them with the previous graphs, what we see is that इनका one way ही trend चल रहा है, मतलब they have not gone into much of a sideways movement for a long time, okay? Sorry, but the only difference is IRFC. If you see, it shot up by quite a like quite a margin here. It trended sideways for again quite long, right? 3 महीने तक इसने कुछ नहीं किया स्टॉक ने, and then it again started running. So I wouldn't put it in the category of these. मतलब of course it's not as much of a consistent performer as these three, looking from the graph style, right? But हम graph style पे decide, मतलब हम graph देख के decide तो नहीं कर रहे, हम chart देख के decide तो नहीं कर रहे, right? We are going by the system में आया IRFC उठा लो, हमने उठा लिया, right? But like visually when we see, not that it accounts too much, but visually when we see कि इसने इतना consistently perform नहीं किया है compared to these other existing players. And yeah, let's just hope that they keep performing the same way and they keep they be in the portfolio, right? It's a good thing stocks अगर portfolio में आ जाएं और फिर रहें, that's much good thing than betting on a new set of stocks, right? We also don't want the portfolio to have much churn. जो perform कर रहे हैं वो करते रहें, वो portfolio में बने रहें, कोई नया stock खरीदने की जरूरत नहीं है, उन्हीं के साथ लगे रहो, winners के साथ, right? If they don't perform, then you again lose a lot of brokerage and tax on like a lot of churning. Momentum anyway is infamous for churning, कि बहुत ज़्यादा churning होती है, हर महीने change हो रहा है, जो वीकली रिबैलेंसिंग कर रहा है उसका तो हर हफ्ते चेंज हो रहा है, राइट? तो इतना चेंजेस किसी को नहीं चाहिए आइडियली, इफ ऑल दिस स्टॉक्स कीप परफॉर्मिंग एंड लाइक yeah, and we don't need new entrants anymore, right? We are satisfied with these, okay? So these were the major discussion points for this video. एक तो कि रिव्यू का पर्पस क्या है, रिव्यू हमने किया, वी सॉ कि सम स्टॉक्स हैव परफॉर्म्ड वेल ड्यूरिंग द वीक some stocks have performed disastrously during the week, but overall अभी भी net positive है. Weekly review के basis पे we are not taking any calls unless in very rare cases which I had discussed. Then we saw the charts of these some potential new entrants जो कि January 15 को ही पता चलेगा, January 15 की closing price के हिसाब से potential new entrants versus some of the existing players जो कि portfolio के inception के से ही हैं. उनके ग्राफ्स में विजुअली हम कैसे थोड़ा बहुत डिफरेंस देख सकते हैं कि मोमेंटम किसमें स्ट्रॉन्ग बना हुआ है और किसमें थोड़ा सा बोलते हैं ना इट्स लूजिंग स्टीम. सो वही मतलब थोड़े थके हुए लग रहे हैं. ओके, so yeah, so that was the main thing. And if you like this kind of content, if you want to track this portfolio along with me, so consider subscribing to this channel. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.